What if you're in this? You wake up to find your loved ones gone, their cars still in the driveway, their belongings untouched, and no sign of a struggle, just silence. Springfield, Missouri, June 6, 1992. It was supposed to be a night of celebration. Susie Streeter and Stacy McCall had just graduated high school. They spent the evening at friends' parties, planning to crash at another friend's house. But plans changed. Sometime after 2 they decided to head to Susie's home to sleep instead. Waiting there was Susie's mother, Cheryl Levitt, a 47-year-old hairdresser. By all accounts, it was a safe, quiet neighborhood. The kind of place where nothing bad happens. Until it did. The next morning, friends arrived at the Levitt home. Both of the family's cars were parked outside. Inside, the women's purses, clothes, and personal items were exactly where they'd been left. Cheryl's dog, Cinnamon, was pacing and anxious. The beds looked as though they'd been slept in. There were no signs of forced entry, but the three women, Susie, Stacy, and Cheryl, were gone. At first, friends assumed they'd gone out, but hours turned into panic. Calls to their phones went unanswered. And then came the detail that chilled everyone. An unsettling voicemail had been left on the answering machine that morning. A friend heard it before police arrived, but the message was accidentally deleted. Its contents remain a mystery. Police treated the home as a potential crime scene, but by then, multiple people had already walked through the house, unknowingly contaminating evidence. Tips flooded in over 5,000 leads in the first few years. Some claimed to have seen the women in different states. Others pointed to a potential suspect, a man already in prison for unrelated crimes, who had once threatened Susie. But no confession came, and no trace of the three women was found. Detectives examined another theory. Maybe the women were taken because they witnessed something they shouldn't, to have possibly tied to a separate case involving grave robbing. But that trail went cold too. Over the years, theories multiplied. Some believed the women were abducted by someone they knew, explaining the lack of forced entry. Others think a random predator targeted them at the exact moment they were most vulnerable. One strange clue emerged years later. A tip from a man who claimed the women's bodies were buried in the foundation of a local hospital parking garage. Ground-penetrating radar even detected 3 anomalies consistent with graves. But when officials reviewed it, they decided the evidence wasn't strong enough to justify tearing up the concrete. That decision remains one of the most controversial parts of the investigation. More than 3 decades later, the case is still active. The faces of Susie, Stacy, and Cheryl are etched into billboards and news specials across Missouri. Their families have never stopped searching. The house they vanished from still stands. To some, it's just another home. To others, it's a haunting reminder of the night 3 lives disappeared without a trace. Investigators still believe someone out there knows exactly what happened. Whether it was one person or more, whether they're still alive today, that's the unanswered question. Imagine locking your doors at night, believing you're safe, only to have danger slip in without breaking a window, without leaving a single fingerprint. The Springfield 3 remain one of America's most disturbing cold cases, not just for the mystery, but for what it says about safety. Because sometimes the monsters don't leave evidence. Sometimes they leave nothing at all.